She wants you to expand a little bit more about the feeling of love that you teach.
Okay. Well, first of all, the reason that I teach it is that, in my experience, what I've found is that love has a way, if you are experiencing the feeling of love, it has a way of automatically opening your perception beyond its normal limits. And think about the last time you fell in love, and the last time you were there talking to the person that you were falling in love with. And think about just how much more open your awareness was, how much more you intuitively got. As a sort of tiny piece of what I'm trying to explain. So it's the feeling of love that opens perception, in my experience and in my opinion, the feeling of it. Not thinking about it, wondering about it, not wondering if you're experiencing the right kind or the wrong kind. To me, it doesn't matter whether that feeling of love comes from the memory of the last time you petted your cat, or some really memorable first kiss, or well, for me, the one I use is, I was there when both my children were born. I was there when the nurse walked over with a newborn baby girl and handed it to me and said, "Here's your daughter." And I remember as I held my daughter and looked down at her, I remember what I was feeling. And when I do a feeling love exercise, very often, that's the memory I use so that I feel that feeling I felt during the original experience. It's that feeling that's important. Once I let that memory bring the feeling of love back into me, then I allow that, or imagine or pretend that that feeling begins to expand and fill me, expand into the air around me. And if it slips away, it's okay. Just remember another time you were feeling loved or loving. Let that memory bring the feeling of love back into your awareness and feel it. And if it slips away, it's okay. Just do the same and feel it. Because just feeling love automatically opens your perception. Now understand, everything I'm saying is my opinion. There's no need for you to believe what I'm talking about. This is my opinion. It's based on my experience and the experience of thousands of people who have taken this workshop.
She said she's been feeling that a lot, that feeling of love.
Good.
Her body.
You've been feeling love throughout your body? Good. I would say, good.
You have another question here.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
Patty.
Do I have time to make a comment on that?
Sure. Okay. This is Patty. She has a comment.
Yeah, Patty.
Hi.
Hi.
In relation to that, in relation to the feeling about feeling love, I wanted to comment on an experiment I'm doing, and it's day 30 right now, you've heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto's, right?
Yeah, the guy with the pictures of the crystals.
Yeah, the water crystals.
Yep.
And how you can affect water with consciousness and thinking and words and such. So I'm working on that at home, and what you do is you can put cooked rice in a jar, and either wrap the written words around it with emotional words such as anger, I love you, or I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did a slight deviation on that, and I'm doing healing hands around it. So I have 4 jars right now. And you do it for, I think I told Pat about this. and you do it for at least 30 days. So today is day 30. And you start seeing some effect around the rice within about a 5-day period. And so the jars that I have, I decided one of the jars I sat on the Holy Bible, and I'm totally ignoring that one. And Dr. Emoto is a scientist who did this experiment. He said that the water, the crystal water, where the water is affected, I guess it's, well, you might be able to explain it, but it affects the water molecules by thought or by something. Yeah. So this, by ignoring the jar of the rice, which is cooked so it has water in it, it's negatively impacted. The other jar, I'm not explaining this very well, but the other jar has the word anger on it, and the other jar I have my thoughts going into it to hurt it. So I'm actually wrapping my hand around it, and it's really hard to kind of emote these feelings of hurt. And then the other jar, I'm healing it, and I'm sending love and healing energy into it. And it's amazing how this has brought up feelings of love. And the jar that has love, you feel so different, and it's completely white. So what he says is all the positive energy, the loving energy that you put into the rice jar or the water molecules, it stays white and clean and clear, and effectively it's untouched. It's almost like you can still eat the rice. It's completely white. Whereas the hurt jar that I'm kind of effectively pinching or trying to hurt, it's really hard to emote that kind of feeling inside of yourself. It's got this brown and kind of ugly brown spots on it. And then the anger jar has turned yellow and mushy and brown. And the jar that is being ignored has got brown spots on it. I'm not talking to it, I'm not doing anything with it. But at the bottom of it, where it's sitting on top of the Bible, and I don't claim to be a Christian, I don't claim any spiritual or practice or religion, but I'm ignoring it. But on the bottom, it's completely white. But around it, there are kind of brown, like, I would almost call it like if it was like a banana or something on bad. So there's kind of brown spots around it. So I'm videotaping it different times to see the effects of it. But it's really amazing the different feelings and sensations you have, and it is so easy to project love, positive energy. And it's amazing how you sense the feeling in yourself. And I've changed my thoughts. I've changed the way I think. In life, in the way I work, in the way I talk to people. It makes an impact, and you start paying attention more.
One of the things that I teach along with feeling love in the workshop is something I would describe as projecting love energy. Sometimes in a retrieval situation, the person who is stuck sort of in a mental place where they really don't have enough capacity to understand what's going on, where they are, or what they need to do about it. And so as an engineer practical matter, I teach a form of projecting love, which is similar to what you're doing with the jar with the white rice. And it's a method of taking that feeling and then projecting it to someone or something. In the case of projecting it to someone who's in a retrieval situation who doesn't seem to quite be able to comprehend what's going on, projecting love energy to them can be the thing that opens their awareness just enough that you can then communicate with them and say, excuse me, but there's really no good reason for you to be laying here under this icy water. It's really cold down here, and I can show you a way to get into a nice warm cabin. And at that point, they're like, oh, great, let's go. And it was just that projecting love part that made just enough opened their awareness just enough. You can have an effect by what you're doing on those around you. The feeling that you're feeling, as you feel that and carry it with you, you're affecting the people around you. There was a great experiment done just a couple of years ago by the Transcendental Meditation people. They brought all kinds of people into Washington, D.C. at a time when the crime rate should be climbing. It was getting towards summertime. When the crime rate should be climbing, they brought in meditators who just meditated. The crime rate didn't make the climb it usually made. And all the people who were involved in that experiment said, this is really interesting. We just have these people who are just sitting here doing this meditation thing, and it affects the entire city? Why not? You do the same thing wherever you go, physically or non-physically. I just help you learn to do it consciously, non-physically.
Makes a difference.